Hey guys, what's up? Moxie1701 coming at you with part 2 of my review on the Mini C-64. Basically, when you plug in the system, this is what you see. There is some background music that plays. Here, if you want to hear it, this is what it sounds like. Which is kind of cool. It's got a nicely organized screen. On the bottom over here, you have the games that are available. Up on the top, you have a screenshot, which changes from time to time. I think there's like 2 or 3 per game. And on the other side, you have the name of the game, a little bit about the game, the author, and what kind of game it was, and what year it came out, which is very, very nice. Now, this is not emulation. This is actually a Commodore 64 on a chip, which is very, very cool. They got Impossible Mission 2, Jumpman, Jumpman 2, which is called Jumpman Jr. over here, Mega Apocalypse, which is one of my personal favorites. They have lots and lots of different games on the system. And they run pretty much perfectly. Although, this is a European system, okay? It's based on the PAL version of the games. But they force it to run through HDMI on NTSC TVs, which makes the sound a little bit off. Now, I found this more apparent in games like Impossible Mission, because I'm very, very familiar with that. Listen carefully here to the voice, if you can hear it, okay? Watch when I start it up. It sounds like it's being played a little bit too fast. And that's because it's being run on NTSC when it was originally programmed for PAL. And PAL runs on 50 Hz, NTSC runs on 60. So you get a bit of discrepancy in the sound. And the sound effects are a little bit off too, like this. See, it sounds a little bit off. Now, if I can find a way to jump off a cliff here, I'll show you the yelling sound that he makes. Now, here we go. Listen to this. Now listen. See, it sounds just a little bit too fast. But aside from that, as you can see, the games run perfectly. There is a slight lag between when you enter commands on the joystick and the response. Now, listen, you can hear the click of my button about half a second before it actually activates. See, there's a little bit of a delay, but that's very, very easy to compensate for. Everything runs smoothly. I have not had a game that ever crashed on me. It's really, really nicely done. And I have it right now emulating a CRT with scan lines. You can choose different ratios. You can choose different scan line intensities. It's really, really cool the way this thing is set up. You push the menu button and you can save the game. Each and every game on the system has 4 save slots, which is very, very nice. Let me just get out of here. You have a virtual keyboard, which appears on the side. You can see the little characters there. I find it's much easier to plug a USB keyboard into the second port and use that. And that's how you exit the game. Really, really nicely done. Over here, you have options for the screen. Like I said, pixel perfect, European 4/3, North American 4/3. A little bit of a difference. European's a bit wider. Pixel perfect CRT, European 4/3 CRT, and North American 4/3 CRT. I like to use the pixel perfect CRT because it gives the nostalgic scan lines and it has a nice wide aspect to it, which is really, really nice. And over here, this is the language. You have English, Spanish, Italian, Dutch, and French, which is German and French. And here, USB keyboard. US, what different nationalities can use different types of keyboards. Here I use the US. Legal notices, system information. Mine is this 9/6/2018 at 7:15 and 28 seconds. Really, really cool. And there's a factory reset. Now, I don't know which games you're familiar with on the 64, but one of my favorite racing games is Pit Stop. So you have all the options over here. One driver, which track, number of laps, rookie, and here is where the keyboard comes into effect. I'm going to go, I'm going to put myself as Jeep. And enter. Press your button and off we go. And as you can see, that buzzing engine sound is just as annoying as it is on the real system. Let me just exit the game. Every game over here runs perfectly. And there's a little something special here I'd like to show you. Let's go all the way to the basic interpreter. And yes, this has a basic interpreter because it is a real Commodore 64. And this is as if you plugged in an original Commodore 64 and turned it on. You would see this. Little prompt. And you can use that with a keyboard, which is very, very nice. And over here, I found a trick. If you plug in a USB splitter, plug in a USB keyboard and a little flash drive with a D64 disk image on it, you can actually load games from the internet, from your collection, onto the system and use the save game slots to save them, which is very, very cool. Actually, it was the 8-bit guy that showed me this trick. Really, really nice. I can see these are pretty much blank, but here I saved the Master of Magic. Now I have nothing plugged into my system right now. There's no USB board or drive or anything like that. This is saved on the system's memory, the save game slot. Oh yeah, it's the second button. I keep forgetting which button to push. See, it runs perfectly. That's the inventory, run. This means that any Commodore 64 disk image that you have can be run on this system. And I'm pretty sure everything runs because this is a real 64. And I've tried a few games, Falcon Patrol, Gyrus, even the Atari Soft games, and this one, and the last V8, Sword of Fargold, things like that. They all run perfectly. So this is a really, really cool system. Hats off to the guys that made this. So if you're a fan of the C64, looking to relive the nostalgic times of the Commodore 64, or if you're a newcomer and just curious about it, definitely try and pick one of these up if you can find one. So I hope you found this video useful. Thanks a lot for watching. And if you really like, you can always click on subscribe. It will be appreciated. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.